Oops. It helps if I actually put in the earphone. Hi everyone, this is Stacey Hall, and it is a joy to have you with me. That was actually a choice. Do I leave the earphone out or do I put it in? And I made the choice that I was going to put it in so that you could hear me more effectively. I'm also going to adjust the volume. You can see it's pretty authentic video here, speaking to you from my home, because someone asked me today what they should do about something in their life. And it reminded me that of the solution process. I'll just say that each of us really does know what's best for us to do in any given situation, but we have been conditioned to ask other people, or we've had experiences in our life that did not turn out the way we would have wanted them to, and so we learn not to trust ourselves because we think we made a bad decision or we had a failure. And so we think that by asking other people what they would do in the same circumstance, that we can avoid having a problem. But you know what? I don't see those experiences as failures or bad choices. They, of course, were all just life choices, life experiences. If you ask anybody, you may not have liked going through that experience, but what did you learn from it that you didn't know before? All of us would say, I learned this, and I learned this, and I learned this, and this is how I'm using that experience now. So if we accept that anything that we made a choice about in the past was just that, a learning experience, great. Then we can move on from there. That said, I know all of us have had the experience of not listening to our gut. That's what we would say. It's like I had a sense that maybe it would not have been the best for me to have done that, but I did it anyway. Okay, so being able to listen to our gut that much more is a growing experience as well. And the solution process that I talk about in my book, Chi to Be, is a way to safely develop the process of listening to your gut. By the way, that is not just a phrase. All of our nerves end in the lining of our gut. You can look this up. And so when we say we have a gut feeling, that really is our nervous system talking to us. Isn't that cool? Okay, that said, whenever we have a choice or a decision to make. So I'd like you to take a moment now and think about a choice you have in front of you. It could be as simple as, do I have fish or do I have a hamburger for dinner? It could be that. It could be, do I invest money in this project or do I save the money and wait to buy the project later? Anything in between, that's up to you. So take a moment now and think about what are some choices that you have in front of you or that you've been putting off making because you weren't sure about, and then choose just one of those for the purpose of going through the video. You can always go back and replay the video and use the process on all the others. All right, so pause me right now if you haven't come up with your choice. If you already have your choice, great. So with that said, what you're going to ask yourself, first question is, if I was afraid, why would I choose not to do what I'm thinking about? So coming from my fears, why would my fears keep me from doing what I'm considering? Keep me from having fish for dinner? Keep me from spending the money on this project? Coming from fear, why would I choose to not do what I'm considering? Pause the video and then write down all your answers to coming from fear, why would you not do it? Okay, great. Now let's move on. The second question is, so this is number 2 question out of the 5 questions, coming from love, why would I choose not to do what I'm considering? Coming from love. And I'm not going to be any more specific than that because only you know whether you're coming from love for yourself, coming from love from someone else. Just coming from love, why would I choose not to do what I'm considering? Coming from love, why would I choose not to have fish for dinner? Or coming from love, why would I choose not to spend the money on the project? Or whatever you're coming up with. All right, pause the video. And now, when you've come back to the video, again, hopefully you wrote down those answers, but I'm also going to tell you this. Sometimes there won't be any answers to these questions. Don't push yourself. Don't think you're doing it wrong. If you have no answers to any of these questions, great, then there's nothing to answer. Just leave it blank. So now number 3 question out of the 5. Coming from fear, why would I choose to do what I'm considering? So in our examples, coming from fear, why would I choose to make fish for dinner? Coming from fear, why would I choose to spend the money on the project? Think about all the fears that would be driving you to do what it is you're considering and write those down. So it's the fears that would make you choose to do it. Pause the video, write your answers. Now that you're back, we're going to go to the 4th question out of the 5. So this is number 4. And the question is, as you could expect, is coming from love, why would you do what you're considering doing? Coming from love, why would you do what you're considering doing? So coming from love, why would you choose to have fish for dinner? Or coming from love, why would you choose to spend the money on the project? It's just that simple. Write down your answers. If there are any, pause the video. All right, now the 5th. As you were writing down the answers, if you were paying attention to yourself, you could feel energy moving in your body. In other words, you might have felt more tense at times. You might have felt more relaxed at times. You might have been fidgeting at times. You might have been still at times. If you're not sure what you felt, pause the video now and go back and read your answers to each of the questions. And notice how you feel as you're reading the answers. Great to have you with me. Thanks for checking in. Okay, you're back. Now that 5th question is, now that you've noticed your energy, which of your answers felt the best in your body? Not up here, but in your gut, in your body. Which of all the answers you wrote down made you feel the best? And please don't start thinking about, well, if I do that, then what's this person going to think, or what's going to happen in my life if I make that choice. I'm not asking you to go there. I'm asking you to stay with me and simply tell the truth to yourself. Which answer felt the best? Was it an answer about coming from fear, not doing it? An answer coming from love to not do it? An answer coming from fear to do it? Or an answer coming from love to do it? So take a look in your body. Let's see who's here with me. Hey, Gina, great to have you joining me tonight. Just going through the solution process. I know you've used it many times in your life, so it's great to have you with me, getting a refresher course. It's fun for me to share it via Facebook Live. I've never actually done this via Facebook Live. It's always been through private sessions with clients or podcasts. Okay, so once you know what is the answer that felt the best in your gut, you now know what your real decision is. So yes, of course, you've got some details to work out in some cases. You might have to explain to somebody that something doesn't work for you. You may have to say no, which might not feel really great to you. Here's a process for saying no. Repeat after me. So hi, folks. Got people bumping in here to say, oh my goodness, Natalie, you're here? Yes, you are, and Vicky's here. It's great to have y'all here talking about the solution process, making choices and decisions with certainty and peace. So let's say you've made a choice and now you have to let somebody know, and in your head you're thinking you're going to let them down. First off, you don't know whether you're going to let them down or not. A very wise person told me a long time ago, if something doesn't work for you, it most likely doesn't work for the other person either, but you're both being so considerate of each other that you're not being truthful. And so you're being responsible over something that doesn't need to have a responsibility about it. So if you stand in that concept, that if it's not working for you anymore, it's probably not working for the other person anymore, here's what you could say to them. Thank you for asking. I have considered what we talked about, and it does not work for me. That's it. Thank you for asking. I have considered it. It doesn't work for me. Now, they might say to you, why doesn't it work? Because it doesn't work. That's really the only answer that is required. If we feel like we should, and for those of you who see my TEDx talk on not shitting on yourself, you know where I'm going with this. If you haven't seen it, it's on my website at she2b.com. The website's over in the post related to this video, so you can just click on it. Right there on the home page is a whole talk I gave at TEDx on how to release yourself from shoulds. So if you believe that you owe somebody more of an explanation than it doesn't work for you, that is shitting on yourself. You don't. So if it doesn't work for you, just stand in. It probably doesn't work for them either. And with that, I'm going to give time to anybody have any questions. If you came in late, know that what I covered at the first part of this message was how to ask questions of yourself to ultimately arrive at the best decision or choice for you without having to ask other people what you should do. And again, just quickly recapping, all of the nerves of our body end in our hands, end in our feet, end in our ears, and end in our gut. So when we say we have a gut feeling about something, that is our nervous system talking to us. How cool is that? If you like that, give me some hearts, some likes, some comments. Would love to see what you think about the fact that when we say we have a gut feeling, it is the truth. It is not just a statement. So I happen to think it's pretty darn cool. That's true. All right, folks, so the solution process, I've written a few blog, let me rephrase that. I've written a few of my blog articles at she2b.com to go deeper into the solution process I just chatted with you about here. And if you go to she2b.com and you look at attraction tips in the upper bar, and you go there, on the right-hand side, if you scroll down in the column, you're going to see my various, what I call energy surges, which are each of the chapters in my best-selling book, She2B. You will see blogs related to each of those chapters. And chapter 10 is the solution process. So you don't have to buy the book. Of course, I'd love it if you did. But you don't have to buy the book on Amazon in order to get more information about the solution process or any of the tips that I share in my book. And with that, I wish you all a she-lightful rest of your day. And if you didn't want to post any comments here for me, but you would prefer to send me a private message, please do. I look forward to connecting with you through this She2B fan page and at she2b.com. Bye.